Mr. Hamilton was a man who knew nothing but extravagance. His days were spent indulging in lavish parties and surrounding himself with beautiful things. He spared no expense in acquiring exquisite furniture, shimmering silks and sparkling jewels. His mansion was a testament to his wealth, every corner echoing with opulence. Mr. Hamilton, however, remained untouched by the true meaning of his riches. He never learned the value of hard work, believing his fortune to be an endless well. His days were spent in idle pursuits, leaving the management of his estate to his staff. Among them was a kind, hard-working woman named Martha, his most trusted servant. Martha had served Mr. Hamilton for many years. She was a woman of simple means, content with her humble life. Her small cottage stood on the edge of the estate, a stark contrast to the grandeur of the main house. Despite their differences in station, Martha held a deep respect for Mr. Hamilton. She diligently performed her duties, keeping his home spotlessly clean and his belongings in pristine condition. Martha had a particular fondness for the items Mr. Hamilton discarded as his tastes changed. She saw beauty and value in everything, carefully storing away chipped china and worn velvet curtains. She believed that even in their imperfection, these objects held memories and stories. These discarded treasures found a new life in her care, lovingly mended and cherished. Years passed, and Mr. Hamilton's reckless spending took its toll. His once overflowing coffers began to dwindle, his investments soured, and his lavish parties became a distant memory. The grand mansion, once gleaming with prosperity, now wore a shroud of neglect. Dust settled on the once polished surfaces, and the gardens, once vibrant with life, lay overgrown and untended. Mr. Hamilton, now stripped of his fortune, was forced to confront the consequences of his actions. He had to let go of his staff, including Martha, the one constant in his life. He was alone, facing the stark reality of his situation, filled with regret and uncertainty. His fall from grace was swift and absolute. Having nowhere else to go, Mr. Hamilton sought out Martha. He was humbled, his pride swallowed by his misfortune. He arrived at her cottage expecting to see the same simple dwelling he remembered. To his utter astonishment, he found himself standing before a charming cottage, its walls adorned with blooming vines. He stepped inside and was greeted by a sight that took his breath away. The cottage, though modest, was an oasis of warmth and care. The furniture, once discarded from his mansion, was lovingly restored and gleamed with a newfound radiance. The chipped china now graced a shelf, each piece telling a silent story of bygone days. The worn velvet curtains, carefully mended, framed the windows, casting a warm glow upon the room. It was then that Mr. Hamilton truly understood the meaning of dedication, the value of hard work, and the enduring power of respect and kindness.